Hey there and happy Thursday, everyone. So yesterday I kicked off November's 10 projects with the cute little gift box using the Peaceful Prints bundle. And then today I kind of knew what I wanted to do, and just shortly after dinner time, then I was checking my notifications on Facebook, and Sarah Douglas, Stampin' Up! CEO, she's just a few years younger than I am, but she runs the company magnificently, and she had some stamping projects that she posted on her Facebook website, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that right now. And I had so much fun copying what she did immediately that I'm like, you know what, that's going to be today's card, hands down, because I was super excited about it. So switching gears is always fun when it is you know, the magic of the moment of it happening now, and when it turns out is even better too. So let me show you today's card here. So I'm going to use some blending brushes with the Peaceful Play Suite. So this card today looks completely different than yesterday's project. Here you can see them, but using the same bundle or suite of products, but yet a very different look to it. And so I will show you how I achieve that fun kind of Northern Lights look there. But before I get too far in there, I want to tell you about today's big deals. So it says start with savings, and maybe I should just turn around my camera now because I think that would be the best way for you guys to see it. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna turn around my camera here, and there we go. Want to make sure I can see comments too. Hello, Connie. Good to have you on here. And for some reason, my volume's up. Sorry. I don't know why my volume's even on. Usually it's off on my iPad because this iPad I use only for kind of having my comments there. All right. So we've got Connie watching and that's good. I'm glad you found me. So just a quick blurb, start with savings. So normally anytime somebody jumps in to join Stampin' Up, it's $99 for $125 worth of products. Today through the end of the month, it is just $75. And I know people get scared like, oh my goodness, it's a commitment. Belle does it just crazy. She's on Facebook every day. You don't have to do that. The person that I just signed up just wanted a great deal on the cut and emboss machine. So she added that to her cart and said, you know what, that's good. And so things like that are just great. So if you want to, I will or actually have this kind of as its own post on this Facebook page. And so, yeah, all you have to do is make sure that when you sign up to join my team, that you click on my link so that I can help you if you have any problems or any questions on anything as you go forward. And then the only other thing is you can't have 125 and even 5 cents or it won't go through. It has to be $125 or less. You can't pay the difference if you go over. And then you get a 20% discount on all your orders going forward. A lot of people ask, so what is the minimum requirements? Well, the first quarter, there's no requirements. You can just coast along and see, you know, how it goes. And then the first full quarter that you're in, so that'd be January, February, March, then that's when it really counts. So then you should submit $300. But if you do shop this quarter, through the end of the year, that counts towards your first quarter too. So the first time you have to actually worry about it is April 30th, because April, they actually give us a pending month too. So in between now and April 30th, you could get 20% for sure off of everything you purchase going forward. So let me know if you have any questions about that, because $75, I think a lot of us just have $75 on our wish list. And so it's a great time to just take the wish list, enter it in as a starter kit, free shipping. Like, how exciting is that? So let me know. That's my blurb, and then I'll stop and work on today's card with you guys. Hi there, Lois. Lois, you're going to love this because it's more trees. Hi, Donna. Thanks for popping in. So today's card, like I said, inspired on my Facebook scrolling today by Sarah Douglas. And so I want to give her credit, but I did change it up and added just a couple, 2-3 more different things there. And so just like yesterday, like I said, it's coming from from the mini catalog. Connie asks, are your farmers done plowing? Not quite yet. So, but the crops are in, so that's always good. The hog barns, the pits are empty. So we're just, yeah, we are so close to being done, and it's a great feeling. So mini catalog here. And it's coming from pages 36 and 37. So today I'm using the Peaceful Cabin stamp set. And I said I'm using the bundle today. All I'm using from the cabin dies today is this tiny little fox die. That's it. Like, just, I kind of wanted to highlight him, but not to be like outdone by the pretty paper. So the paper today is what is going to steal the show. So I love it when we have pretty paper like that it just takes over and does its thing. Hey there, June. Fun to have you on here. Okay, so you can see all of these, all these fun little papers that I've used in the past, like the sparkles and the trees and different things. But I'm going to kind of start from scratch today and pull out, I have it over here. So it was easy, but it was underneath something. I'm going to take this piece of 12 by 12 today and show you from start to finish how I made it happen, just to help you guys, because a lot of you ordered this paper already. And so if I can kind of go step by step, you can take it right out of your package practically today and make today's card, because it's kind of got just basic things that are going to be easy to put together. So with that, with this 12 by 12, what I'm going to do is put it in my trimmer here, and I'm just going to trim off 1 inch because I don't want such a kind of like white space there. So I'm going to cut off 1 inch here, and then I'm going to flip my paper, and then I'm going to take and trim 1 inch off of that end too. So we're left with, from our 12 by 12, we're left with a 10 inch piece here. So I'm just going to divide that in half and cut that at the 5 inch mark. So we have 2 strips of 5 inches, and I'll set that aside and put it in my trimmer at 4 inches. So then when I trim at 4 inches and 4 inches, and then this one's 4 inches, just like that, we have enough to make 3 of the card fronts that I'm going to use today, but I'm only going to need 1. You guys don't have to watch me make 3 cards. Now, the fun thing about this is then you have these strips, and I will bring that in just a little bit. So I'll kind of lay that off to the side, but those strips are going to be important as well. So what I'm going to do next is get out my blending brushes and show you how to kind of make that Northern Lights effect super quick and easy. Let me get some scratch paper here and my blending brushes like so. And you can kind of already see which color went on which blending brush here. So first I'll start with Misty Moonlight and open that up, and I just kind of give a counterclockwise little swirl across there, and then I always start off my paper so that there's not a blob of blue color on here, and then I kind of just catch the edge and swirl it across. And so I'll do that again. I'd rather do this a few times and go, ooh, that's too dark, and then have no way of going about making it lighter. So I just kind of have that look like that. And that doesn't look too magical, too exciting on its own. So I'm going to set that aside. And next I'm going to pull out the Pool Party, which is going to give it kind of that Northern Lights feel. Same thing, just kind of get some color on there, and then counterclockwise spin it. And I feel like this one, like maybe it's just the color, maybe not as much ink, so I want to give it a little harder press. And so I don't want it to look too green, because then it's going to look kind of fakey, but I like that. And then with my sample that I made today, same thing. Then I'm like, okay, this looks kind of too washed out for the blue. So then what I do is go back and just add a little bit more darker blue on that, like so. And then I kind of go over where I've put the Pool Party and kind of blend that a little bit so it doesn't look so all blue and all green. So how fun is that? It's just kind of subtle, and yet it's there, and it gives us a really, really nice look. Actually, I just want to put a little bit more in the corner to kind of frame that to make it a little darker. I think that adds a little bit more to have that look just up in the corners. Okay, there. I just kind of like that look a little bit better. And so then we have kind of a lighter focus over here too. Okay, so I'm going to take and move my ink pads aside, move my blending brushes out of the way, and then honestly, I am ready already to put this together on my card front here. And this is Misty Moonlight, same color as the ink pad that I used. And before I put this down, I wanted to take and incorporate this little strip here. So the strip, like I said, we cut off the white from the bottom of here. So I'm going to use the reverse side and just get out my trimmer. I want it to go the full length of the, or full width, I should say, of my card front. So I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. So if I do, you know, like I said, 6 card fronts, if I cut another 4 1/4, this one is going to fall short by a little bit. So it's only going to kind of be here, and it's going to look kind of chump. So for those of you receiving my cards, it's not going to line up where I'm going to have 3 of those and then 3 of the card fronts per each swath. But in the past, I've done other cards, and so I have a lot of these strips with the snowflakes, and that actually looks really fun to have kind of that cozy gingham buffalo check too. So some of the cards that that I'm sending out might have this, and that is why. But of course, I won't try to send anything ugly or anything that I won't want to send out in the mail to somebody that I care about. Okay, so now with this little 1 inch by 4 1/4 inch strip, I'm just going to put some adhesive on that, and then I'm going to line this up here across the bottom of my card like so, so it fits across the bottom there and the full width there. I thought about popping it up, but it really doesn't need to be popped up at all, so I am going to go ahead and just put some more adhesive on here. I actually had some really fun ideas to use for the back side of this, but you know, pretty usually wins out. Like, doesn't everybody like pretty versus like pattern most of the time? But I did buy quite a bit of this paper, so maybe I can still get some use out of the practical side versus the pretty side. So I have that there, and then the sentiment that I've used from the stamp set quite a bit. And I feel like if you're getting my cards from me, hopefully you're not like, oh, there she is using that sentiment again, but it goes so beautifully with this whole suite of products. And it's may you enjoy the piece of this beautiful season. So with that, I'm going to open up my basic gray pad and ink that up. And then I'm going to stamp that directly on Designer Series paper. And it doesn't take away at all from the little sparkles and such. So you can see like the trees here are more on one side. Oh, actually, they're pretty similar. Different patterns will have like the trees in different spots or whatever. So I might have the sentiment more over here or more over there and such. Yeah, this one ended up here, that one over here. And actually it looks a little bit more green. To emboss, or not emboss, I went to stamp it and cut it out with my cut and emboss machine. And I had some little pieces here. Actually, I can show you so you can kind of see. And I just felt like it didn't fit the card to have the fence there. It was okay, but it was almost like the whites clashed, and I know whites should be white, but we all know that they're not. So I really didn't like that, but I thought, well, let's stamp out this little critter here in smoky slate and have him be just a little bit lighter than the basic gray I use. Just gonna take this little piece of scrap here, and because it's such a tiny little die and a tiny piece of paper, then I get out my tiny cut and emboss machine, the mini machine. So it's great for that. And just gonna line that up. So, which brings me to a funny story. This actually happened last night. It was shortly before 8 o'clock, and my husband was going off to go somewhere, and I said, oh, can you get the mail for me? I forgot to get that during the day. And he goes, no, I don't have time. And jokingly, oh, that went off. It's not the right, I just don't like it. Doesn't look sharp. It kind of just moved a little bit. Put it that way. Okay, let me grab another little piece. I had it all lined up. I thought I'm going to line it up before I tell my story so I don't get distracted. And so he goes, well, you know what? I will. I'm just going to make sure it's dry so I don't get ink on my cutting plate. So, so just shortly before 8, it's pretty dark out, and he jokingly said, you can walk down there and hope that you don't see any raccoons or anything crossing your path. Well, the night before I'd heard, and it wasn't super, or it was super late at night, but I heard coyotes, which we have, you know, around here, and I could hear it. And so jokingly I said, okay, but you know, if you get home and I'm not here, you know, something happened to me. It's like, no, I'll let you ride in my pickup to the end of the driveway and then you can walk back. And I'm like, deal. So as I get in the pickup, we're halfway down to the end of the driveway, and literally this big raccoon, and he even said, oh, a big raccoon's gonna be there. A big raccoon crosses our driveway and goes across into the ravine, which we have this really big steep ravine that runs along our driveway into the creek. And so I'm like, nope, there's no way. I said, I'm going with you wherever you're going. He's like, no, I'll bring you back home. But what are the odds that we'd have that little wildlife running across when he was totally joking about it? So I just put that on, the little fox here with a glue dot. I just wanted a little creature on there. I didn't want to pop it up, and I didn't think it needed to be popped up because it just kind of sticks out the way it is. But I put a glue dot so that it stays on there because it's so small. I wanted it to stay on there nice and sturdy. And if I put like even a mini dimensional, I felt like it would maybe look more wobbly than anything. And then next I'm going to add an accessory. Today's choice to kind of go with the sparkly stars on my card is the rhinestone basic jewels. I thought that was a good pairing today. And let me grab my take your pick tool here. And I'm just going to grab that and put one about there. And you know me, I like to do 3s, so I'll put another one kind of down here. Oops, I need to maybe just get out some new putty there. And then another one up here. So we kind of have, oh, that one doesn't, oh, now it wants to stick. At first it didn't want to stick, now it's stuck to my finger here. So we have just some sparkle there from the rhinestones to match the sparkle on the paper. Now that, you know what, I bet it, if I give it a good press, it's fine, but because of the ink that I put on this designer series paper, it's not like it's wet, but kind of. So I just need to give it a better push for rhinestone. I'm like, what's up with these rhinestones? That's why. So the rhinestones there, just add a little carry through for the sparkle on the paper. Hi there, Jody. And then for the inside, I did, like I said, like the fence idea. So I thought, well, let's carry the fence over to the inside. So with my smoky slate, which is the lighter of the ink, I'm just going to add that to the bottom there. And then the sentiment, wishing you the best. And you can see I put the snowflake stamp right on there with that. The snowflakes are what I used yesterday on the gift box that I made. And so that's that same stamp, and it just gives it a little bit of a accessorizing the sentiment. And I'll flip this over and add some adhesive here onto the back for the inside of the card. And I love gray and blue together. So Misty Moonlight and some basic gray smoky slate really comes together in a fun way. And I love that this embossed tree that's already on the paper is just so pretty. And kind of steals the show, where it didn't take long to put this together, but it really looks super nice all on its own. There you go. So that is card number 2. For November out of 10, and I'll be back either tomorrow afternoon. I'm not sure my plans yet for tomorrow. Either I'll be back tomorrow or Monday with card number 3. And like I said, if you want to go back, if you're just joining, there is a joining special. Not that you have to go all in with the business aspect, but if you like discount on Stampin' Up! Products, go back to the beginning of this video. And usually in my videos, I don't talk about joining too much, but it's a really good deal. So keep that in mind. And otherwise, have a great rest of your evening. And on the still shot of the card, I'll have all the ways that you can get my set of 10 cards that I'm doing this month too, either by ordering or by letting me know if you want the 10. So have a good night. See you guys later. Bye-bye.